Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Osama Said from islamafterahmadiyya.com. Today's video, relatively short video, where we showed that Mirza Masroor, the head of the Ahmadiyya organization, is either lying or severely misinformed regarding the writings that are within Ahmadiyya official publications, writings of his own false prophet Mirza Ghulam of Qadian, where Mirza Masroor, in the video clip that we're going to show you, he's denying that Mirza Ghulam claims to be either equal or higher than Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the final prophet. So he's saying this and he's blaming it on the other Muslims and you know, the usual sort of putting down other Muslims and making them out to be liars and making false allegations, when actually this point is actually true. It's not an allegation, it's actually a fact. Mirza Ghulam did claim to be higher than Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His coming, Mirza Ghulam's coming, which is Mirza Ghulam's life, which means Mirza Ghulam himself, his coming was stronger and more complete, more fierce than the coming of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is in his own writings and other Ahmadiyya publications written by other qualified individuals within the Ahmadiyya organization. They've stated the same thing, and I'm going to quote them now. First of all, you're going to hear the video now, and then I will quote.
बस हमें इस बात की तरफ बहुत तवज्जो की ज़रूरत है। हम बेशक एक बज़नी से तो बचे हुए हैं जो नाम नेहाद उलमा ने आमतुल मुस्लिमीन के अंदर पैदा की हुई है या उनके अपने दिलों में है कि नाउज़ु बिल्लाह अहमदी हज़रत मसीह मौऊद अलैहिस्सलाम को हज़रत सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से ऊपर या बाला मुकाम देते हैं। ऊपर का क्या सवाल है, हम तो ये ईमान रखते हैं कि कोई भी हज़रत सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के बराबरी को नहीं पहुंच सकता। हाँ, आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की ग़ुलामी में, आपकी इत्तिबा में अल्लाह ताला अपने किसी भी आजिज़ बंदे को अपना क़ुर्ब अता फरमाता है, और इस ग़ुलामी की वजह से, इसी ग़ुलामी की वजह से हज़रत मसीह मौऊद अलैहिस्सलाम को उसने मसीह मौऊद और मेहदी मौऊद बनाकर भेजा है, और जिसका दर्जा जो इतराज़ सबसे बड़ा है वो यही है कि नबी मानते हैं, इनका दर्जा आपके उम्मती नबी होने का है, आपकी ग़ुलामी में नबूवत हासिल करने का है।
So now I start. This is Ruhani Khaza'in volume 16, Khutbah al-Hamiyya, page 288. Now I've said this, I don't know how many times I've read this out in so many videos, but here we go again. It's written in Urdu, Arabic, Farsi. I'm reading English translation so that the listeners can understand. Now I begin. And it is clear that the time of the Fath Mubin has passed in the era of our Holy Prophet, and the second victory remains, which is much greater and clearer than the first one. And it was destined that this time be the time of Masih Ma'ud, promised Messiah. So this time here is greater and clearer than the first. The victory remains, which is much greater and clearer than the first one. The first one is Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time. So Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time is not as great and not as clear as Mirza Ghulam's victory. This is what you can see on screen. Read it to believe it. Now we've got Ruhani Khaza'in volume 16, Khutbah al-Hamiyya, page 258 to 259. Here we've got, again, it's 3 languages, but I'm reading English, so I'll start now. And Allah sent down upon me the bounty of the Holy Prophet and made it perfect. And He drew towards me the kindness and generosity of the merciful Prophet, so that I became one with him. Thus he who joins my Jama'at joins the group of the companions of my leader, the best of messengers. And this is the meaning of Akharina minhum. It is not hidden from those who have the ability to think. The person who makes a difference between me and Mustafa, Holy Prophet ﷺ, has neither seen me or recognized me. The person who makes a difference between me and Mustafa, Holy Prophet, has neither seen me or recognized me. Now, dear listeners, what Mirza Ghulam is saying there, if you think about it and pause it and write it down if you want to make sense of what he's saying. If he says you're making a difference, if anyone who makes a difference to Mirza Ghulam and the Holy Prophet has not seen Mirza Ghulam. Which means there is no difference because they're the same, they're one and the same. That's what Mirza Ghulam is saying there. If you don't understand it, write it down, think about it, and think about what your so-called prophet is saying, and you'll realize that he is saying what I just said. Next one is from Kalimat al-Fasl, page 113. The author of this is Bashir Ahmad M.A. Again, it's written in Urdu, I'm reading the English translation. Every prophet was granted accomplishments and perfections according to his capacity and performance in varying degrees. But the promised Messiah was granted prophethood when he had attained all the accomplishments of the prophethood of Muhammad ﷺ and was qualified to be called a shadow prophet. Thus, this shadow prophethood did not make the steps of the promised Messiah lag behind, but it pushed them forward to such an extent that it brought him on equal footing with the Holy Prophet ﷺ. It brought him on equal footing with the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Dear listeners, this means brought Mirza Ghulam on equal footing with the Holy Prophet ﷺ. I hope you have understood that point. Replay it, look on the screen, get it translated. I hope you understand that. Mirza Bashir Ahmad M.A. is saying here that Mirza Ghulam is basically on equal footing with the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Again, this proves Mirza Masroor to be lying or to be hugely inept, and he's not educated in Ahmadiyya books, and he's not qualified. How on earth can he be your leader if he doesn't know what he's talking about? Next one. This is quite serious, this one. Okay, this reference is from Khutbah Ilhamiyya, page 270 to 272. This is Rawhani Khaza'in, volume 16, by the way. It's written in 3 languages, as in many occasions, but I'm going to read the English translation. I'll begin now. If you have sense, then understand that just as our Prophet ﷺ came in the 5th millennium, he has come in the Buruzi form of promised Messiah at the end of the 6th millennium. And this is proof from the Quran. There is no room for rejection or denial. And except the blind, no one would turn their head. Don't you worry about the verse وَآخَرِينَ مِنْهُمْ? And how can the words minhum be true if the Holy Prophet is not present in the akharin, like he was present with the people before? Whatever we have stated, there is no escaping it for the deniers. And the route for the deniers to run away is closed. And whoever rejects this point, that the Holy Prophet's coming is related to the 6th millennium, just like it did for the 5th millennium, that person rejects the truth and the Quran. But the truth is that the Holy Prophet ﷺ's spirituality at the end of the 6th millennium, in other words, in these days, in comparison to the previous days, is stronger, complete, severe. Aqwa, Akmal, Ashad. That's the Arabic. Those are 3 Arabic words that mean stronger, complete, and severe. So therefore, Mirza Ghulam's coming in the 6th millennium is stronger, more complete, more severe than the coming of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the 5th millennium. There is no other way of taking this. Mirza Ghulam is saying his coming compared to the coming of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is stronger and complete and severe. So therefore, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's coming, when he brought the Quran and brought the whole Islam, was less strong, so weaker, less complete, and less severe. This is what Mirza Ghulam is saying here over the course of like 3 or 4 pages, just to confuse the simple-minded people who will just push it under the carpet and be worried and think, oh, we don't understand it, he's not saying that. No, Mirza Ghulam is saying that. So there you go, there you have it again. Like I said, I've stated this in so many previous videos. This proves in this situation that Mirza Masroor is either lying to the Ahmadis or he is so hugely misinformed that he's unaware of these writings. And how can he be your leader? So I thought, you guys say he's guided by Allah and all this stuff. How can he not even know simple stuff that's written in black and white by his own prophet, by his own predecessors, within Ahmadiyya official publications? People like us come and show it to you, and your own Khalifa, so-called Khalifa, you all kiss his hand and you all go and visit him, and you think he's so rightly guided. He's either lying to you, he doesn't know this. This is very, very shameful and embarrassing for Ahmadis. Next one you're going to have is Tadhkirah on the 27th of August 1899. Mirza states that he received the revelation concerning himself, and it says the revelation was, many thrones have descended from heaven, but your throne has been set up the highest of all. Many thrones have descended from heaven, but your throne has been set up the highest of all. Whatever the listeners, whatever you Ahmadi listeners, whatever you want to think, when you think about a throne descending from heaven, a throne, what is a throne? A king sits on a throne, a queen sits on a throne. A throne is something where a leader or someone of majesty sits on, right? So how is it that Mirza has been set up the highest of all? If anyone is going to have the highest throne, it's Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if we're talking about prophethood. But if you're talking about anything else, what could throne mean? It does not apply to Mirza. And if any throne applies to anyone, it applies to Sayyidina Muhammad, because the context, and we're talking about Islam, and obviously it's not Allah's throne, so who else after Allah, what is there? It's Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So how can it be that Mirza says that, or he says this revelation, that his throne has been set up the highest of all? You have to think about these things and realize, it's not all just metaphorical and allegorical and all this nonsensical rubbish, okay? You have to ask yourself, what is he trying to say by this? It's all indirect messages to let you know that Mirza actually is more important. But they'll deny it. The Ahmadiyya organization will deny it. You ask them, they'll deny it. But they want to just leave it in there so that you can keep thinking that Mirza is more important. But you ask them, is this true? No. No, the Holy Prophet, no, Mirza is his slave. The next one is in Tadhkirah as well, the English Tadhkirah, and this is, I believe, January 19th, 1903. This is a revelation that came in Arabic, but there's an English translation written by the Ahmadiyya organization themselves, so I didn't even translate this. And the revelation is, Allah has preferred you to everything. Allah has preferred you to everything. So Allah preferred Mirza to everything. What does everything mean, people? What does everything mean? Everything includes everything. There's nothing excluded from everything. So how can Allah prefer Mirza to everything? No matter what you want to say about the everything. Everything of anything. Mirza can never be the preferred one. He can never be preferred to everything. And again, if anyone is preferred to everything, it has to be that Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we're talking about in the context of Islam, after Allah, it is Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is not Mirza. It is not Mirza Ghulam, the man from Qadian. Okay? I want you people to really think about this stuff. The words, a lot of Ahmadis, I realize, a lot of Ahmadis, from when I speak with them and stuff, they just you keep letting these words just slide. You think, we don't understand it. It must have some divine or some really deep meaning, and we don't understand it. So we'll just ignore that, and we'll just ask you, what do you think about the death of Jesus? You can't ignore these things. You have to stop and think, what is this? This is not Quran. This is not Quran. This is not the word of Allah. So you can ask questions. You can really say, look, this really doesn't make... Even the Quran, if you're trying to understand the verse, you can go and ask questions. Go and ask questions about it. What does this mean? What does this mean? Allah has preferred you to everything. Everything. Not something or little bit or something. Everything. Mirza can never be preferred to everything. If anyone is going to be preferred to everything, it has to be Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the context of Islam, the original Islam. So once again, all this proof that I present to you in this video, it shows you that Mirza Ghulam did claim to be this, obviously greater, and we've also got examples of him being stated as being equal to Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Astaghfirullah. Now you've got your Mirza Masroor lying, or like I said, he's hugely misinformed, which again, how can he be your leader if he doesn't know these things? And telling you Na'uzu Billah and all this stuff. As soon as I hear that Na'uzu Billah, I just know there's a lie coming. So many times I hear Ahmadis or Ahmadi missionaries say Na'uzu Billah. As soon as they say that, it's some lie or some insult coming towards the Holy Prophet so that they can defend Mirza Ghulam, the liar from Qadian. So again, check these references. Please let it sink in and stop thinking that we're getting proofs from the Mulvis and stop thinking that we're making up lies. I've repeated these evidences so many times in the videos. They're from alislam.org. Go and read it for yourself, but you're too scared to read it because you don't want to accept that Ahmadiyya could be wrong. You want to carry on going to your Jalsas and meeting your friends there, and you want to carry on having your in-laws and your cousins and all this stuff at the expense of your deen. That's not worth it. You're playing a losing game there. That's not worth it. Your life, you could lose your life at any time and you'll go meet Allah. And if you've been warned and you've got an idea that Ahmadiyya could be wrong, go and check it for God's sake. Go and check it. That's all I've got to say in this video. This is Osama Sayyid from IslamAfterAhmadiyya.com saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.